Indelible Impressions.
Yes.
Tell me about the name and tell me the reason for the name and what does it mean to you?
All right. So, indelible impressions is something that um, has very deep meaning to me. It has actually a very deep spiritual meaning to me. It was something that I was in prayer about for quite some time, and just understanding that part of my life, my passion, and my purpose was to make an indelible mark. And when I had the opportunity to launch my own business, and realizing what it was that I needed to be doing, making an indelible impression came very quickly to both heart and mind. And so that's the name of the company. That's kind of, if you will, the why behind it. My goal with Indelible Impressions is to do exactly what the name says, is to make an indelible impression upon organizations as they're trying to transform the culture of their workforce for the better, and that impression would extend outside of the organization's walls, into the realm of society and communities, and so that it has a greater impact. And just working towards helping to make society grow and expand for the better.
How are you going about that mission? It's a lot involved in that. Tell me, where's your area of expertise and um how do you sort of go about starting with these organizations and as they trickle to the community and that. But tell me your part that you guys play in that.
Sure. So, Indelible Impressions, it is a DEI strategy and execution firm. We work directly with the organization to start them off by assessing or taking the temperature of their culture, to find out how their workforce is feeling, how they are engaging both within their walls, if you will, and also with their stakeholders, and figure out perhaps where their biases lie, where the gaps and opportunities are to grow in that area, and then to customize trainings and workshops that specifically target and address those areas. And then from there, we build a curriculum that helps to underscore and support the learnings so that they're not only just developing a head knowledge of it, but that they can actually have some accountability and put to practice what they've learned. And so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I would say one of the biggest components of this work for me, and I always tell leaders of these organizations, is that when I come into the organization to aid them in this work, I'm not just there for the company's minds. I'm there for their heads and hearts, because I truly believe that the heart is where sustainable change is made and will live. And so it's one thing for people to have a head knowledge of DEI principles and how to better manage their bias, eradicate some of the stereotypes that are floating around in their heads, and how to engage better with one another from a human first perspective. That's all great for them to know. But when you prick their hearts, when you've made an indelible impression upon their hearts to change for the better, and all of the benefits that yield from that, then I say, like, ooh, we've got them, and so there's a greater opportunity for them to live out what they've learned. And again, not just in the workplace, but in all the areas of life, I say that their foot shall tread. And so that's my ultimate goal, is to not just contribute to bettering workforces, but to better society as well.
Wow. I think that was one of the things that stood out to me with your mission and sort of your end goal was really we want to hit them not just when they're 9 to 5s, right? We want them to take this home to their families. We want them when they're out in the community. And I went, wow, yeah, because if it makes sense here
Mhm.
to get rid of biases and stereotypes and maybe a lot of sort of unconscious things that we may be doing or thoughts that we may have, if it makes sense within the confines of our 9 to 5s, our jobs, it makes sense everywhere else too, right?
Absolutely. And you think